Yes, enjoy whatever you
That's
do.
important.
Like I said, we are on Facebook at the moment. Alhamdulillah. Please drop us your comments. Tell us what's going on with you. And if you like the show, love the show. Like last week, I think we had a little bit of a temporary situation with sound as well. And one of our avid listeners, Alhamdulillah, sent us a message. He said, listen, we can't hear you. It's not enough to see you. Okay. All right. So marriages. Nikah is half of your iman, but maintaining a passionate or committed relationship in your marriage is a extremely difficult challenge that most of us underestimate. Better get married. Don't be nice to her. Don't hit her. Talk to her nicely and buy her nice things. That's marriage. That's what Chacha used to say before, isn't Kaka and Chacha and all these people. No, it's a lot more intricate than that. So if you look at it realistically, you should really appreciate two things. First, you should realize that you're really trying to do something extraordinary. Nearly 1 out of 2 marriages today will end in divorce. I'm not saying that I'm telling you the statistic. I'm talking about 20 years ago. I remember I went for a marriage seminar in Palok. I think Mufti Saab was there. And he said he spoke to a judge in Makkah, and he said, what is the divorce rate in Makkah? And at that time, I'm sure it's changed now, was 50%. And I'm talking about Makkah. What's happening with us here? So, very, very, very dangerous statistic. This means that nearly half are either getting divorced or on the edge of divorce, on the verge of divorce, hiding our quiet frustration and discomfort from view. It means we're so unhappy in our marriages. What you should strive for is to have a better than normal relationship, a truly extraordinary relationship. If you merely want a normal relationship, why are you setting your sights so low? Try to appreciate that what you really want to have is a superior relationship that will demand extraordinary skill to accomplish. You need to be there. You can do this. It's not hard to do. It's hard to implement, but after that, it's easy. The second thing you should realize is that you're expecting more emotional perks than previous generations have expected. For most of history, marriages have been more survival orientated. You got to put food on the table. You have to work very hard. The kids need to be educated. There wasn't time to really enjoy each other's company. She was busy now taking care of the kids and housewife, and you were busy trying to put food on the table. That's how it was with our dadas and nanas 50 years back. Things have changed now. Now the women have come into the work front, and there's a lot more opulence, which means there's not so much of issues as far as finance. Yeah, there is financial difficulties, but there's a lot more communication, and now it's more like, what can I do? Home industry. I mean, look at the home industry. I mean, I have so many of my good friends. Their wives have got a talent in them, and they have really utilized their talent, and together they are making a good income, alhamdulillah. True stories, I'm telling you. So marriages have been more survival oriented, but even through these difficult times, emotional fulfillment in a marriage was not paramount. It wasn't like, you know what, we got married, we need to be companions. If your children survive, and it was considered a pretty good deed. If they got educated and had a good life, that was an achievement. You focused on helping each other survive. You feared God and expected the big payoff after you died. You didn't have the luxury of worrying about spiritual fulfillment from your marriage. Having much higher marital expectations can create additional obstacles. If your marriage isn't going too well, you now feel more shame. Because, I mean, you're always comparing, and, social media is a real thorn in our side, because we're always seeing people photoshopped, even their marriages and their relationships. I think we have some WhatsApps that come through, have we, Misbah? Yeah. So I'm going to interrupt there. Let Misbah read out a few WhatsApps. Please go for it.
Assalamu alaikum. Divorce issues, finances. Many a times the husband is puzzling. The wife uses her wealth, either personal monies or inheritance, to assist the husband's business, etc. When divorce takes place, she loses all. The husband either denies taking monies or plays broke. My take is, wives, don't be shy, drop a contract. That's what Allah orders in Quran. Ulama should insist all contracts to be in place, even if it means 100 rand.
But in that message, they were talking about money, and money is replaceable, and I'm sure it wasn't billions or trillions of dollars. What about the divorce? Why wasn't there a contract in the divorce? Why wasn't there a contract in the marriage? Why did the divorce happen? Because in the message, I'm looking at the more important thing. I mean, I don't know, am I wrong, Ms. Pap? I mean, we're talking about marriages that Whatever you invest, you are entitled to.
I think that's our point about counseling. When somebody is going through counseling sessions and they're feeling, what am I doing here? Right. But the whole point is nobody should be abused in any level, financially, physically, verbally. That's what we save ourselves from in counseling.
That's what happens in counseling. Basically, open-ended conversations. Like, listen, I'm giving you my inheritance. I'm lending you my inheritance. Let's just write something down and stipulate that, you know what, you're still liable for it and you must pay me back as soon as you can. You mustn't just usurp it. So at the end of the day, what is important here is the fact that a husband and wife need to get along as business partners as well. So if she's lending you a contract interest-free, lending you a certain amount of money, there should be a contract. And Rasulullah Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said this, even between father and son, take it in writing. So why shouldn't there be a situation? The husband says, yeah, because look, it does happen and it's very offensive to ladies. Listen again, trust me on this, I'm a marriage counselor, I'm doing it for a very long time. Very, very long time. And women do complain that their mare has been usurped. Am I right? And we hear that. It's very
nice
offensive.
Message about that.
Please go for it.
Assalamu alaikum. I need some advice. Please, when you use your heart to do stuff or try to keep families together, then when the dirt hits the fan, flies back into my face, and no matter how hard I try, we fail in this. We can't please people. We have to please Allah. So my question is, I opt to stay aloof or independent until they need us. They come and make contact, and we do it with a smile. But as I said, it hurts the heart. So emotional clutter, I realize it working excessively. It's my third nikah. So I have been divorced twice. And alhamdulillah, we are made for each other. So I don't let this come between us. But the problem arises when we say no.
Well, you see, the thing is now, when you're going to make an omelette, you're going to break a few eggs. And the problem with life is that everything is entitlement. So they're expecting a yes from you. So maybe your husband is a very nice person and you're made for each other. So sometimes the brother will feel like, okay, you know, he can borrow some money. I'm just using a loose metaphor. But then if you say to him, listen, you haven't paid school fees yet and you want to lend your brother money for something that he doesn't need, that means he wants to buy a car. Don't you think your priorities should be in place? So then what's going to happen? The brother's going to get offended. You see, it's not your money, it's our money. So there should be a meeting. And if it's a valid reason, like you have to go for an operation or something like that, then yes. But now I'm using a metaphor of money, borrowing and all of that. So when you're going to say no, and I'm usually assuming it is about finances, then people are going to get offended. But you see, it's no offense. Offense is only taken when you are insulting, offensive in your speech. But you say, listen, we thought about it, but unfortunately we cannot help you. Please make us maaf. So they'll take some time because the no offended them. But after a certain amount of time, they'll get past it. But nobody sits down to the grudge and says, I asked them for help. And you know what they did? They said no. I never heard people holding that grudge for 10 years or more. So what happens after a little while, they warm to you and they act funny with you, but they're okay with you. So it's cool. So like I said, make an omelette,
as
make a
this
few
sister said, until they need us, they come back.
There you go. I'm sorry. I think you verified what I was just about to say. Until they need you again. So be a little bit cognizant of the fact that they do need you, and you need to choose carefully which habits or which favors to help out with. And that's about it. Anyway, the favor that we need to also do now is go to advertising, which means we need to take an ad break. So please stay tuned. We'll be back after this.
We'd love to meet you. Pay us a visit. Radio Al Ansar.
Welcome to Simplex Radio. Visit our showroom for the full range of car audio. Our TV department carries top brands with quality LED panels, full HD to Ultra HD, and now the experience of Super Ultra HD. Visit our theater rooms and transform your home with brands like Onkyo, Integra, Denon, Boston Acoustics, Yamaha, and more for quality audio visual experience. Now available, full range of home appliances. A one-stop shopping experience. Call 031-306-4029 or Kenilworth Park, 202 Brickfield Road, Overport. Simplex Radio, the name you can trust.
When you give water, you're reaching out to drought-affected areas, bringing them to life. Fresh water to drink, to clean, and to grow. That's the power of water. Donate now to Islamic Relief.
اللهم احفظ المسجد الأقصى من اليهود الحاقدين ورحاب المسلمين اللهم وطهر المسجد الأقصى من اليهود الغاصبين اللهم عليك بهم فإنهم لا يعجزونك يا قوي يا متين اللهم منزل الكتاب مجري السحاب هازم الأحزاب سريع الحساب اهزم اليهود وزلزلهم يا قوي يا عزيز.
This and only this is Nightline. Nightline is the only program that allows you to listen to the opportunity to voice your opinion on any matter or any topic that concerns you. Also on Nightline, we interview the famous, the not so famous, and infamous. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Brother Muhammad Varyawa, and with me in the studio is Dr. Anwar Jiwa. Join us every Saturday night from 8:30 p.m. till 10:30 p.m. on Nightline, the program designed especially for you, the listener.
You've tried the rest, now come to the best. Vodacom Shop for smartphones, tablets, laptops, routers, SIM cards, gaming, and the latest accessories to complete the look. Home and business internet to ensure that you have the best connection everywhere you go. Plug and play to fully installed fiber. Our infrastructure provides a resilient platform for your critical business applications, which will help your business perform best. Get the right amount of everything. Vodacom Shop at the Pavilion Entrance 6, Westwood Mall, Bluff Towers, The Workshop, Umlazi Megacity, City View, Bridge City Kwamashu, Brookside Mall Pietermaritzburg, and the Nelson Mandela Square Sandton.
The chaos and destruction in the Gaza Strip is beyond comprehension. Virtually everyone is displaced, hungry, and in urgent need of life-saving humanitarian support. The Al-Imdad Foundation has been working tirelessly to address the health, nutrition, and water needs of the population. Our hospital, water deliveries, and hot meal programs are made possible with your support. Your donation, big or small, is a lifeline for those in dire need. Help Gaza survive. Donate online at alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
Every day's a good day.
Did you hear? Your favorite 24-hour dentist has moved? Crown Dental Studio, offering everything your smile needs, from general to cosmetic dentistry. Female practitioner now available upon request. Call us on 081-207-8621 to schedule your next appointment. Or visit our new studio at 26 McCuton Avenue, Durban North. Crown Dental Studio, the 24-hour dentist.
Get ready to celebrate the joy of the season with the Chelina Baby Sale. Shop beautiful baby nursery, furniture, travel systems, car seats, and much, much more. We've got everything you need to make this holiday unforgettable for your little one. Shop the Chelina Baby Sale from the 20th of March to the 20th of April 2024 for a unique and fun shopping experience. Visit us at a Chelino Baby store near you or simply shop online at chelino.co.za. Chelino Baby, your premium baby store.
Radio Al Ansar, 24/7, 365.
बदल दे दिल की दुनिया दिल बदल दे खुदाया फजल फरमा दिल बदल दे.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, you're back. It's the Dil Bedalde show. I'm your host, Faisal Jusub, my co-host, Misbah Iman Jusub. Yes, we are bringing the Dil Bedalde show to you every Saturday after 10 o'clock, between 10 and 11. And if you just tuned in, thank you for tuning in. You're not too late. Don't worry. We're here. If you want to follow us on Facebook, we are live on Facebook currently. Drop us your comments, drop us your suggestions. Also drop us if there's a particular show you want to do. We take requests. It's all right. Maybe you're going to tell us something. Life is about learning. You can tell us something which is urgent out there. How are we supposed to unless you tell us? There we go. So, like I said, lots of WhatsApps are coming through. Remember, 060-904-1056 is the WhatsApp number. And if you want to SMS me, it's 083-778-9314.
Sorry for that.
Yes, please.
Can you manage to read this?
Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Brother Faisal and Bhabi. First of all, please make me mark if I said or did anything wrong. Voice very low. A pure heart matter in most when choosing a spouse. Looks and status take you to Jannah. But right now, a partner can help you strive to Jannah. The problem, life is as big as a ship. Never forget your blessings are as big as an ocean. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the best listener. You don't need to shout or cry out loud because He hears every silent prayer from a sincere heart. That's nice.
More.
You don't need a shoulder to cry on. You have a ground to put your head on. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you, Brother Faisal Bhai. My beautiful Bobby, who was the co-pilot with the duas of Almighty Allah, is now the co-presenter. Ameen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala aap aur aapki family ko hamesha khush rakhe. Ameen, Sister Rukia. Thank you, Sister Rukia. I was waiting for you. You know that. No more co-pilot, now co-host. Alhamdulillah. Hope with your duas, I hope we go from strength to strength. Now, today what we're discussing is counseling or advising. So advising and counseling are different. Advice is your opinion of what you think is best for them, like a uncle, father, grandfather, mother, sister will do. Counseling is allowing people to explore what's best for them. So you want somebody's opinion, or you want to decide what's best for you, knowing what your contingencies are, what are your options. Advice is a suggestion, a theory on how to handle a problem. Like, for instance, your father will say, listen, son, I think you should do this, you should do that. He's taking it from his experience. And no offense to his experience. I'm sure it's vast, and I'm sure he's correct. Counseling is guidance on how to tackle the issue by an experienced person. Counseling is a process to identify the root cause of a problem, thereby finding the right path to a solution, therefore alleviating your confusion. Anyone can give advice based on their own knowledge, but is it curative? Is it good for you? That's the difference.
I like this message.
Okay.
Came in. I don't lend money because it causes amnesia.
Amnesia, that's true. Well, Mona said it very nicely too. You want to lose your friend? Lend him money. Now, a lot of advice comes from family, and it rings true, it sounds true. Like, for instance, marriage is 50-50. It's not good advice, because it suggests that marriage requires couples to take half the responsibility for everything. Every aspect of your marriage is both your responsibility, and for your relationship to become stronger, you must divide everything right down the middle.
So whose job is it to save the marriage?
Save
Husband
the
or
marriage
wife?
is both. But at sometimes, maybe the wife has to make a little bit of a sacrifice. So maybe she has to go 70%. Maybe she has to go 80%.
Is it wrong?
No. You're investing in your own future. But for you to have, no, I'm only going to do that part. Because look, in counseling, we hear this always. Not, oh, he's got the problem. He needs to seek out the help. He must go for help. No, you need to come in with him. You need to sit down and say, he's talking rubbish now. He's saying he did nothing wrong. You know what this man does? You know how he swears in the house? Now, I got a shock of my life. Haji, you look, mashallah, like a wali of Allah. And you
Lamb.
A lamb, and you scream like a wolf. Now, how am I supposed to know what goes on there? So it's not always about one person always making the sacrifice. If you're going to believe that relationships is a constant equilibrium of give and take, then you may be in for heartache. When partners confront health issues, like when your husband is sick, then isn't she gives 100% and he's out cold? Employment issues. What happens when your husband loses his job? How you step in and take over? Like that wife that said that, after the divorce, she lost her loan that she gave to her. Yeah, she gave to her husband. But she stepped in 100%. Child-related issues. One we call to carry more weight than the other. And that's true because, the fathers come home dark, tired, and they're saying, please, can I just take a shower? I just want to read my Maghrib. I'm so tired. It happens to everybody. There are times where I barely can read my Isha, and after that, but then who has to be with the kids? This person sitting next to me, this wonderful person sitting next to me, my companion, my gift from Allah. So
okay, there's a good message, SMS.
Okay.
I think it's a bit controversial. Let's see if you agree, right?
All right.
Assalamu alaikum. Faisal, good to hear your better half with you.
Alhamdulillah.
Faisal, the problem with today's marriage is money. In our grandparents' days, women were there to take care of their families and the men were the providers.
Mm-hmm.
Women in those days never demanded for anything. They were interested in taking care of their families.
Mm.
The women of today, if only they can practice those days, the marriages will work better. Divorce was never heard of. People should treasure their marriages so we will have a better future generations. So they're saying it should be like old school, but...
Well, look, old school has a lot to offer. But now the problem is that we don't ride camels. Camels are very nice to have. We drive cars, and from what I see nowadays, the cars are more and more expensive and we want to go for more technology. Nobody's holding a Nokia 3310, yet it was one of the best phones ever. So we need to learn from the past, but we need to deal with the future. So I can't tell my son, I don't want to have a cell phone because it's it's very toxic to me. My son will look at me, Daddy, what are you talking about? People do their banking, they run their whole life on their phone. So likewise, ladies have become a very big part player, and I don't see that ladies keeping quiet will make the marriage prosper. Yes, it might survive, but she's making stubborn and she cried her whole life. You must remember all those ladies in the past when they took the unnecessary hardship that was there. We don't have to do that now. Through education and through illumination, Allah Pak has given us so much of knowledge. The ulama are always talking that treat your wife with respect. The best of men are the men who are best to their wives. The ulama are telling us all of this. So that's why we need to also understand that we have to come into the new frame now.
But I think there shouldn't be any pressure on women. If she wants to stay home and look after family, it's fine. There should be support. And if she wants to work in a very Sharia-based environment, and if she's working there too, she should be supported.
But see, that's the thing. The husband and wife need to sit down and discuss it, because you bring a point now, see, that a woman must not be told what to do. It's very, very offensive and it's very, very inflictive.
I don't told, definitely husband is her mehram all the time. So yeah, we understand that. But she shouldn't be abused. Even if she's working or she's not working. That's the main idea in today's world.
Well, abuse is what we always hear, right? And we say financial abuse and all of that. But at the end of the day, it's a harsh term. Now, sometimes the husband now, he wants to like make her work because, we got some debt to pay. We have the house to pay off. I'm not coping because we bought this house and now my salary have been
But
demoted.
that's not wrong for women to work or help her husband as well.
Now, when we say that we need to work together, that means we need to sit down. Now, maybe that's where our education comes in. That, see, you need to look at the whole situation. Now, the husband is looking at, I need to make things happen. That means I need not to sit at night and think, how am I going to pay the bills, the installments? And I'm 3 months behind on the installments on the credit card, and I'm 3 months here and there. Now, she wants to work. She wants to assist her husband. How are we going to do this? Then take into account the logistical issues that are going to be there. For instance, now, what's going to happen to the kids? I mean, are you going to help me when we come home together at 5 o'clock? Are you going to go in the kitchen and start cutting up the onions? Are the kids are going to help? We need mechanisms in place. So I must go to work, come back, right? And I must still go in the kitchen and cook. Then I must lay the table, then wash the dishes, then read Isha with one eye open at 10 o'clock at night, and then go to bed at 12 o'clock. And everything starts again at 5 o'clock again.
Yeah.
So that's what I think when we hear the word abuse, right? That's what we feel. But it's a very strong term and I don't agree with it. But
no, but that's support. You supporting your wife. Abuse is when you take her money away, maybe, or you blaming her for things that she's not allowed to.
Yeah, well, that's what we hear, right? But the thing is, it's an incorrect term because it's very harsh on the husband. Now, see, if he's going to say, where I abused you, I didn't hit you. And you gave me your money. I didn't snatch your money away. I asked you to work. That's how the men usually will look at it. But when the ladies call it abuse, like you putting point forward, is that they didn't have a say in anything.
Yeah.
They had to toe the line. So at the end of the day, communication is the cure. Now, what's the core problem which you brought up? What's the core problem you said? You said there's not enough money.
Feelings. If you think about women, it's about feelings.
No, initially, why did you go to work?
Because he needed support, financially support.
Financial support. Now, how does a person live comfortably? Barakat.
Barakah, yeah.
So how does one get barakah? By being happy. When you make your wife happy, now she will happily go to work, and when she comes back with that finances, you sit with her and say, see, what do you think we should do? We're owing the bank for the house 1 million rand. We're owing for the car 500,000 rand. Our installments are 10 grand here, 5 grand here, 3 grand here. How do you think I should put my money? Let's work to it. There's barakat in that. Remember, mashwara, there's barakat. So the problem is not how much money you have. Quantity does not bring barakat. Quality. So if you're sitting with the wife and you're talking to her, because she did contribute. Now you take the month from her and you're just handling everything. Then she says, I don't know what's going on. Then she starts feeling as if though she's in the dark and she doesn't know what's going on. So make her that's why communication. This is what we advise. This is what we say to our clients to listen, talk with her. Don't keep her in the dark.
Be a team.
Be a team, because you know what? She can give you an idea and say, listen, you know what? You don't need to pay this person. Why don't you give them a smaller installment this month? We'll double it next month. But pay the bank, because we need to get this bank off our back, because interest is going to keep on. Because you got to remember something. You want barakat in your life. You don't want quantity. You want quality. And then the children are looking at the harmonious situation where the both of you are standing together and fighting this battle. Then what happens? They learn a very important lesson, that you don't have to do things alone. But now dad don't want to talk about it. Mom is always upset because she has to do too much. Now she's going to work now. She has to start 5 in the morning and she finishes 10 at night. She has 18-hour days every day. Sunday, she still has to make breakfast because we can't go out. We're saving money. We can't eat out anymore. Holidays are no more away. And the most important thing, I think that's where that tepid feeling of abuse comes up. She's never thanked.
Feelings. So it should be hashtag team husband and wife.
Oh, there we go.
Sorry, there's another message. Assalamu alaikum. I requested for the counselor's number. Please, can I have same, as I need assistance in my marriage?
083 778 9314. We'll send it to you.
Wow.
083 778 9314. If anybody else, please, if you're thinking about divorce, give me a chance to talk you out of it. It's not an easier road to get divorced. Now, another thing is when you have marriages advice, the family advise you, don't argue, because conflict is a sign of a bad marriage. You'll fight too much. Every couple experiences hurt feelings, frustrations, and conflict. This is normal and expected. The sign of a healthy marriage is not the absence of conflict, but the love and respect with which you manage your differences amid the conflict. That means how you speak to her when you're angry. Do you start swearing at her? Are you a person that just loses your cool? Do you swear him? Do you remark him about the past? You tell him, oh, you see, you'll never change. You're just like your mother. Your mother never respected me. I don't know why I married in a stupid family. Don't talk like that. Respect the conflict, stick on the point, and don't bring emotion and history. So don't avoid conflict. Instead, see your disagreements as a gift, an opportunity for deeper understanding and connection with each other. Conflict management, healthy conflict management, can be a doorway to intimacy in marriage, actually strengthening your relationship. That means you took 1 step back, but you took 3 steps forward. So there are times when tables can dramatically change, and putting the one partner in front, and then a fight happens. I'm doing too much. You told me I must work for 6 months. Now it's gone 2 years now. I said, see, honey, if you want to quit, you quit. Right? It'll get us a little bit longer to come, but look, I want you to be happy. I'd rather be us happy than me happy that we're out of debt. But it's up to you. You decide. You want to quit, you quit. That's how it's supposed to be. So whenever people advise you, unfortunately, some of the well-meaning counsel is misguided and useless at times, doing more harm than good to a marriage. Part of the problem is that what works for one couple may not be the truth that can be generalized to all married couples. The fact is, it may not even be sound advice. So your mother must have told you that, listen, make sabr and carry on. And then 20 years later, he's still abusive. And you're thinking, you know what, my mother did that in her marriage with my father, and 40 years later, he woke up. But it doesn't mean that you have to live through pain. If you have panados in your thing, you can cure your headache. Allah has given us these mechanisms to help. But advice from family, and now the advice has become even more dangerous because fathers and mothers are not taking nonsense anymore. As soon as the son-in-law steps out of line, that's it, my daughter's coming home. Don't be too rushed to, separate the couple. Get some advice from people who know how to solve the problem, not pull the plug. Now, yes, if she's being physically harmed, then yes, you have to step in. If something illegal is happening, yes, you have to step in. But if they have a lot of problems and your daughter is crying, my daughter, I can't see tears in my daughter's eyes. No, she has to learn, because one day when you're going to die, there'll be tears in her eyes. Then what you going to do? You can't wake up as a mayat and say, baby, don't cry. I'm going to Jannat. Allah Pak is happy with me. You're not going to do that now. She's going to cry. So let her get loose to tears, because that man needs to learn that with tears now, he's hurting his wife, which means he's hurting his akhirah. But don't make enemies with the in-laws, the son-in-law, the daughter-in-law. Work with them, because you need to help your children. Our job is to educate our children for the next generation, because we don't know what they're going to come up with. What we faced in our life, we never knew we were going to face.
Also, we are live on Facebook, Al Ansar Facebook. We would like to read some comments.
Please, if you can give us some comments as well, we'd love to read them. And suggestions as well, please. So
there is another message about being stubborn about the changes your partner is asking for.
All right. So now there what happens is, again, counseling really helps because sometimes we are very rigid in our ways. Like, for instance, now we've been doing the show for how long? But now the rigidity had to change. Now, as a co-host, you're going to bring a new angle, alhamdulillah.
Sure.
And alhamdulillah, you are. I mean, people, I don't know, maybe you found my voice monotonous.
No, I know. Nobody's ever complained that.
I hope not. I hope not. Maybe some
Your
people-
fans like you.
Alhamdulillah. I hope there's more fans out there and more fans of the show, because what we say is more important than admiring me. Remember, everything we do is by the will and the grace of Allah, and everything we say is by His leave. So whatever we are doing here, it's only praise due to Allah. But change is good. Rasulullah left Makkah and went to Medina. Medina was always going to be that place there. So change is good. I mean, things are changing every day. One thing that is inevitable is change. You are young, you're going to get old. You are healthy, you're going to get sick. You're sick, you're going to get healthy. That's life.
But how to advise those changes? I think we should not ladies shouldn't use the word change. They should use the word improvement.
Improve. I like that, what you just said now. That's brilliant advice.
I think when you tell men you have to change and then...
Why should I change?
Why should I change? Yeah, they don't.
I'm not going to change for you. My mother couldn't change me too.
I think there's a kind of a pressure on men when they're not married. Is that when the wife is going to come, she's going to change you.
Yes, that's the urban legend. That's the hoodoo, and it's the truth.
It's the truth, okay.
Which man has not been improved after he got married? Please, I'd like to meet that.
And the wives also improve. It's not only husbands.
Yes.
They both have to. You're
Because
starting a new life.
You're starting a life now. She never cooked as much as she cooked in her life, right?
And the people were not as fussy as the husbands and in-laws.
So now she's cooking not because now she needs her father to eat and she's trying to impress her father. Now she's saying, my husband is hungry. My children are hungry. So everybody improves. Everybody becomes better at what they do. And they have a definitive goal in life that now we're going to improve our iman. We're going to grow as a couple. We're going to go for Hajj, Umrah. We're going to own things. We're going to go places. We're going to emigrate. We're going to buy bigger things. We're going to get a jet. Things like that happens when you have somebody to share it with. And your parents love for you to have a partner that's going to be your partner in Jannah as well. That's why we get our children married.
Also, I think, I don't know much about how men handle, but small changes, baby steps, and they like to be appreciated. Am I right? From my personal experience.
From your personal experience. Well, look, the thing is that a marriage is a commitment which you honor by being optimistic about the future, which means you have to now know that a person's opinion is important. Remember, Rasulullah Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam had a lot of knowledge. The ulama tell us 90% of the knowledge came to him, 9% went to the other Anbiya, and 1% was left for the Sahaba downwards. We know nothing compared to what he knew, and yet he made mashura with his wives. Is that not a reason for us to also perpetuate that sunnah? What do you think? How do you feel? Talk to her, ask her. But how do you know that you're ready for counseling? Because marriage counseling is often seen as a last resort for couples who are on the brink of divorce. In actuality, marriage counseling is a tool used by couples who are not anywhere near considering divorce or separation, but who want to strengthen their marriage. There are more, and in fact, many valid reasons to seek the advice of a professional, but you need to be sure that both you and your spouse are ready to attend marriage counseling sessions for them to be effective. Sometimes they say, you're wasting money. We work so hard for money. Let's save the money and go for a holiday.
Yeah, we have some messages. Salams, I'm driving. Please share the counselor's number.
083 778 9314. But we'll send it to you as well. But just for the listeners out there as well, asking the same question, 083 778 9314.
Okay, this message. Salams Faisal, I have been messaging you and trying to take your advice. This week, Wednesday, my hubby came and made a scene by my mum and dad wanting to see my daughter when he's allowed access every second weekend. We were talking and I wanted to allow him to see my daughter every weekend, but my lawyer advised me not to go against the court. Now, regarding talaq, I did ask him that what he wants out of this marriage, as Darul Ihsan approached him for a meeting. But he told me yesterday he isn't ready. It's been 4 months. We separated now. He doesn't want to give me talaq. I can see he's playing games with me. Please advise me on a way forward.
You are in two very capable hands. Darul Ihsan is a very fantastic organization. I deal with them. They are brilliant at what they do. Let them handle the divorce situation. You are safe at the moment with your parents. You have your child, so there's no issue. Your lawyer seems quite capable and he's advising you accordingly to stay within the realms of the law. The law is what got you your child. The law is now stipulating to him. That is why he's frustrated. Remember when you couldn't see your child? I remember your case very clearly. You contacted me about 2-3 months back on air. We've never met and you've never phoned us, but through this medium, at least we've been able to assist. So your lawyer is doing his job. Darul Hassan is doing his job. You don't need to do anything. You just sit back and relax and you go into the letter of the law. That means now when he had whatever he was doing, because I remember you were talking about something about drugs as well. So he's going to do everything possible now, because now he wants to see his child when he wants to see his child, because maybe things haven't worked out with that other companion of his. So at the end of the day, whatever he's going through is his thing. Look, he made his bed, right? He didn't want his marriage. He corrupted his situation. Now he has to learn a valuable lesson. Don't come between him and his Allah. Allah has to teach him that, listen, when you're going to take something for granted, which I blessed you with, then I'll take it away. And that's exactly what happened. So I suggest stick with the advice you're getting at the moment, because you're in good hands.
Okay, there's another nice message. Salam, Bhai Saab, and your co-pilot.
Okay.
Anonymous here. I think the way he wrote anonymous. Okay. A spouse listening and getting too friendly with neighbor is problematic.
Okay.
Then the neighbor controls the home via remote control, getting a good kick of shortcomings and mishaps. Marriage counselors from NGOs are like very scarce, and their lead time on appointments is years ahead. Maybe they're busy with last year's diary. I'm not sure.
Well, look, like you said, NGOs, which means that they're doing it for free. So whatever you're getting, please be appreciative. And they have a lot of work, because a lot of people, counseling is sometimes expensive and it's a real effort. But these people who are giving off their time and doing, I think we need to appreciate them. So whoever is doing counseling on a NGO basis and all that, alhamdulillah, reward them, but be patient. But now, you know what, when you go to a government hospital, what you have to do? You have to wait in line. So you can't lose your cool. Maybe they are dealing with last year's diary. But as far as the family is concerned, the neighbor controlling remote control, who put the remote control in the neighbor's hand? The spouse. Because when you are not going to communicate with your spouse, then your spouse is going to look for people to communicate with. And if they're going to get friendly with the neighbor, then the neighbor's going to say, you know what you do? Don't cook for your husband today. Your husband will come home and then he'll realize your value. But if you're always thanking your wife for her cooking, then just say, no, I can't do that. My husband works very hard. And every time he comes home, he kisses my hand and he says, thank you. I work hard, but at least you put food in my stomach. Allah will always remind you. So you're going to take back the remote, start the communication with the wife, then the neighbors don't have the remote control. It's likewise with the husband. If the husband is going next door and talking to them and they're saying, remember, you wear the pants in the house. You are the one that put food on the table. No, Allah puts the food on the table. So you need to be very nice with your husband. The key is, spouses are not enemies. We should not be fighting one another. You should be working towards one another. And differences of opinion is what makes us who we are. So don't fight nature. If you're going to say one, she's going to say two. You're going to say, okay, she'll say no. That's how it's going to go. But work together. Don't force one another to accept the other one. Ask the person to trust you. Be amiable.
Same person about the marriage counselors from NGO's message. He's saying, not you, bhai.
No, alhamdulillah, look, I am also at fault. There's some people who call me and I'm so sorry. Sometimes I get back to you after a day or two. I'm being honest here. I'm being absolutely honest. And I feel terrible about it. But sometimes it's too much to do. My wife will testify to that. There's a lot to do. It's a lot.
Somebody on Facebook Live asked for the WhatsApp message number, radio message number.
Okay, it's 060 904 1056. 060 904 1056. That's the WhatsApp message line on the radio show in the studio. That's the studio line. But I can see it's already 11:01, so I think we just lost track of time.
Still 3 more minutes.
Okay, but we'll pull it for a few minutes. We got our permission from Monli. Okay, so any other messages?
I think we're still waiting.
Okay, so
I think they need the numbers.
060 904 1056. We have an SMS that's come through. All right. See, there you go. There's somebody actually telling me that how bad I am. I am so sorry. I have to get back to you. I promise you I'll phone you as soon as the show is over. I will do that right now. I'm so sorry.
There's another message. Salams, my husband is cheating on me all the time. Every time I confront him, he's in denial. What do I do?
Get family involved initially. Right? And you have to threaten him because you have to save his iman now. See, he's doing something very illicit and immoral. It's going to destroy everything, including your life. There will come a stage in your life where you'll have to separate, because you must remember, he can't control himself. Any guna has one very powerful effect, it's very addictive. Shaitan makes it addictive. It makes it joyous. So zina is very addictive. So a person gets away, they start thinking, oh, you know what, my wife is stupid. She doesn't know nothing. So I can have many girlfriends and I can have many acquaintances. And the cell phone is a portal to all the jinns out there. All the jinns out there that want to commit zina. So it's a very
I think
disgusting
they need
thing.
help and they need the number.
Okay, 083 7789314.
Okay, there's one more. Salams, brother. I would like to be anonymous.
Okay.
What do you do if your wife, who you have given talaq to multiple times, just refuses to leave your home?
Please contact
And
Jamiyat
you're
and her family.
extremely miserable and cannot make this marriage work at all.
So please contact her family and contact Jamiyat, get it in writing and give it to her in writing. It sounds to me like you don't want her because that's why you've given her divorce. She doesn't want to leave because how is she supposed to leave her home? So this is something that has to be now basically arbitrated. So the reason why she doesn't want to leave your marriage is not because she loves you only, but also that now she didn't want to get divorced. But now the Jamiyat have to sit down with her, they have to talk to her and say, listen, you are now living in Guna now. And this man doesn't want you. You have to go back. Then furthermore, you have to now make allowances for her. For instance, where she's going to stay, where the kids are going to stay. So like I said, there has to be arbitration, which means now you have to get somebody involved that has the best interest of all parties, including the kids.
We have one more message.
Last one.
Salam sent you message on your WhatsApp. I'm sorry, I didn't receive no messages on my WhatsApp.
Okay.
So they can send
an
me
SMS.
on this number.
Yeah, send an SMS. Please send
And
an
it's a
SMS.
bit late to me.
Okay, so we're done for this week. Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for paying attention. Thank you so much for giving us your valuable time. We'll be back next week, inshallah. And remember, if you want to get divorced, don't. Give me a try to talk you out of it. 083 7789314. Keep listening to Al Ansar. Keep it locked on. And inshallah, we will talk to you guys next week. From myself and my co-host,
It's Pat Yusuf.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So, Bibi Amina, it's going to be 5 kilometers. Would you walk? Would you run? Would you jog? Would you stroll? What would you do?
Okay, I will walk.
You want to walk 5 kilometers?
Yeah, have to.
If you want to walk 5 kilometers with Bibi Amina, then you're going to have to be at the Breakfast Rush, Breakfast Fun Run with your family on the 27th of April. That's a Saturday morning. Run starts, walk starts, stroll starts. It starts at 6:30 a.m. Carry a basket for a picnic because somebody's going to need to share samosa with me.
This hadith is sponsored by Ashraful Aid, International Humanitarian Organization.
حديث أدي قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم المؤمن مألف ولا خير في من لا يألف